for joining us today. My name is Alisha, and on behalf of HCL and SRFI, I welcome all of you here as we announce the new initiatives, the new features as part of our HCL Squash Podium Program. So the program, HCL Squash Podium Program, was launched in 2019. It is a multi-pronged program, and since its execution in the last 5 years, it has focused on transforming the squash in India by not only multiplying the potential of Indian squash players, but also coaches and referees by providing them the necessary support, infrastructure and opportunities. Now, to speak more about this program and the added features in it, we have on the dais our esteemed guests, Mr. N. Ramachandran, Patron at Squash Rackets Federation of India. We have with us Mr. Sundar Mahalingam, President of Strategy at HCL Corporation. We have with us Mr. Cyrus Poncha, Secretary General at SRFI, Squash Rackets Federation of India. And we have with us Mr. Rajat Chandolia, Associate Vice President and Head of Brand at HCL. We're also joined by Mr. Harinder Singh Sandhu, former national champion, Arjun Awardee, and Asian Games Golden winner. So let's have a huge round of applause for all the guests. And of course, to all the media friends, I welcome all of you here as you took out the time to join us. So, beginning with the first guest, Mr. Sundar Mahalingam, who is the President of Strategy at HCL Corporation. He would like to share about the genesis of this very program and also HCL's interest in the sport like squash. Sundar, over to you.
Thank you, Alisha. Thank you, media friends, for joining us and listening to us on some of the things we want to announce today. And great thanks to Ramachandran, Cyrus, Harinder, the people behind the entire squash movement in India, which you will hopefully see much more of as we move forward. We are very excited, very hopeful about that. So that's something we hope to see going forward. But let me start off a little bit about HCL. HCL, as you know, is a technology organization. It was set up by Shiv Nadar in 1976, and we have been working currently a $13 billion organization, working across the globe in various countries. So a very large distributed organization that we have. And what we like to believe in HCL, given the fact that we do so much work for so many different companies and so many very interesting, innovative solutions across the world, our thinking is that what we actually do, if you think about at the heart of it, is we help multiply or maximize human potential. So the way we discuss our brand, and Rajat here, who's the head of the brand, and we thought about this many years ago, in fact, and thought about the fact that what are the core of HCL? So we feel that the core of the organization is all about multiplying or maximizing the potential of human beings. So that's how we think of ourselves. That's our journey. Yes, we do software, we do technology, we do healthcare, we do all of that. But at the core, it's all about multiplying human potential or maximizing human potential. Now, that's all very nice to say, but what does that really mean? So for that, we spent a lot of time thinking about how do we talk about, or how do we think about maximizing human potential? And what occurred to us was that there are 2-3 key fields where human potential is that's when you see potential when it comes out, really see it at the best. And that, I think, my friends, is sport. All of you are, I'm sure, followers of sport. What would be the sport? Be it cricket, be it football, be it squash. There are moments in the sport where you can see the player sort of jumping out of his skin and proving himself beyond the normal reaches of what you expect a human being to do. I'm sure Harinder here, as one of our champions, has experienced. He may not have experienced it, but we, watching him, have experienced it many times. The value of the sports person in actually looking at what he does and actually taking the potential forward and making the complete difference in my mind from what we see as average and normal to something that's extraordinary. And so that is the core of what I call, to my mind, the relationship of sport with human potential. And so we as HCL, we felt the best way to look at, to take our message forward, to take the brand message forward, was to look at sport and see what we could do to support sport and support specific sport, because there are so many sports, and obviously as an organization we can't support them all, but we felt it's important to choose some sports and actually work with the, it's not just a matter of sponsoring something or doing, let's say, one event or one initiative, but to actually work with the sport, actually help not just multiply the potential of the chosen few who are actually in the sport already, but many more people to come. So in that conversation, started our journey in 2016 with Mr. Ramachandran, Cyrus, and Harinder, and the entire Squash Federation, Rackets Federation of India, where we felt, and we worked with them, and we've been working with them since, and it's been, to my mind, a wonderful journey. We felt that we can, what could we do? We would work quite closely together, and Rajat and Cyrus will tell you a little bit about the details of what we talked about. But I just want to leave the thought here to say that the whole point is that the federation comes forward and thinks in terms of it's a very forward-looking federation, and so there's always constantly thought in terms of not resting on one's laurels, seeing what we can do to take the sport forward, move forward, and see what we can do to keep growing and keep doing better. And similarly, we kept thinking in terms of that, what could we do to keep growing and keep doing better. So the first program, in a sense, that we sort of built was something called the Squash Podium Program, HCL Squash Podium Program, where the whole point was, how do we bring our players and the India players up to the podium, let them do podium finishes, in a sense, right? And see what we could do to support that. And for that, so many activities that we've done in terms of coaches, in terms of doing tournaments, in terms of coaching camps, etc., etc. So today, of course, my objective here, or the objective of today's conference, is not to tell you about that. Happy to talk about that in detail. We can spend hours talking about the things that we have done thus far and what we would like to do going forward. But I think today it's more about some 2-3 new things or interesting things that we're doing. Maybe not new, but certainly interesting, and certainly something that we want to take forward, that we're planning right now. And I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to leave space for my other people in the dais to talk about that and tell you a little bit more about what exactly are we planning in terms of how do we take the sport forward. So quickly to summarize, HCL, we believe in maximizing of human potential. Squash as a sport is the one area we felt was really key and important for us to look at this. And we have been working with the SRFI from 2016 onwards. We hope to continue for quite some time. There's no end game. There's no finish line, as Nike poster used to say. And so therefore we hope that as we move forward, we will take. Thank you for your attention and time. Back to you, Anisha.
How do we actually multiply? We collaborate with people, right? We associate with right kind of people. And there comes in the role of SRFI, Squash Rackets Federation of India. But before giving the dais to our respected spokesperson, Mr. N. Ramachandran, who is here today from SRFI, and Mr. Cyrus Poncha, before giving the dais to them, let's watch a short video on Squash Podium Program that our team has prepared. It will give you a brief overview of what the program is about.
In its new avatar, the Podium Program is taking a lead to take the ecosystem to the next level by encouraging and identifying the next generation of squash players in the country through grassroots initiatives. While the program has a lot more to unfold, the waves it created are promising.
Rightly reflected that it is a role of not only, as the video correctly reflected, human potential multiplied, and how SRFI, the players' dedication, and HCL, all of these factors have come together to actually bring together the success of squash in India. And someone rightly said that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. And from SRFI, we have Mr. N. Ramachandran, who is a patron at SRFI, Squash Rackets Federation of India, who would like to speak more about HCL and SRFI's collaboration and the representation of squash at India and global level. So Mr. Ramachandran, over to you.
Good afternoon, Sundar, Rajat, Cyrus, Harry. It is called Harry by all of us. And the media. Their video actually depicted all that I wanted to say and more. It is been a wonderful journey between SRFI and HCL, and all credit goes to HCL for having put up with us from 2016 till now. We are not an easy federation to please with the sponsor, and they have understood what squash is all about over these years. It is not just a player or a group of players doing well. They have gone into the entire range from the time when you are probably 10 or 11, and they want to take you all the way to being a champion in the world, which I am reasonably certain with their support we might achieve it in 2028. We're keeping our fingers crossed, at least get onto the podium in some form.
Absolutely.
And that's the basic landmark which we are looking at. And if you trace the history and the development of squash over the last, say, 20 odd years, a lot of it has gone into what sets up a sport, what makes a sport deliver at the end of the day. In the earlier days when we used to play in Asia, now we always used to look at, if you get into the quarterfinals, it's a big issue for us. And how do we maintain that all the way through till you have a champion? If you look at the last Asian Games, after athletics and shooting, we were the third largest federation, getting the maximum number of medals with the least number of events. We had 5 events, and all the 5 events we got medals. And I must say, accept and acknowledge the support that HCL has given us in that. If it had not been for HCL and we had to depend only on government or the state governments, which have also helped us, but not to the extent that a company, which is a large company, is able to come forward and do for any sport. We never used to have referees clinics. We had just one international referee. Now you have half a dozen. We don't need any foreigner to come into our country and want to, support us in any squash event, whether it's a coach, whether we have any number of level 2 coaches today. We have any number of international referees today, both national, regional referees as well as world referees. So they have supported the ecosystem from behind. Now, while not only supporting the individual, they also supported the ecosystem behind every federation, which wants and has the desire and the will to go forward. And it has also set in a portion or a motion amongst the federation that if you do well, you will go up the ladder. There are no favorites. Performance alone matters, and performance with merit only matters in our federation. And that is how we are able to come across hordes of players. Harry, classic one is Harry. He's one of the oldest squash players, but was able to manage a gold medal in the mixed doubles in the last Asian Games. His entire life after 10 years or 11 years was spent in the academy. He lived in the academy. Even today he is living in the academy. Although he's got a job on his own and he is married. He left his wife behind in Chandigarh and he's here, been here all his life. We are trying to change that, of course. He now works for the state government as a specialist coach. So that is what makes people or a company like HCL come to SRFI and help them. Not, you find that in many other companies, they wish to sponsor a event and that's it at the end of the day. Here, HCL does not believe in such a program. They are either with you or not with you. So they are looking at the sport from a different angle altogether. How can we do it not only in Tamil Nadu, but in all the states? We are constantly asked, what is the development of the sports in the other states? How many courts do they have? Do we need to build more courts? What is their grassroots program? We have what you call, even from Goa, you are having a budding squash player. And seeing what has happened in Tamil Nadu, where you have private courts, now everybody has started building squash courts. in most of the apartment blocks you see now, you will see at least 2 squash courts. Not one, always 2. So you are having that development and the ecosystem, like I said earlier, towards building squash courts, building squash players, ensuring the referees come in, ensuring coaches get educated better. What more does a federation want? All you have to do is work hard and ensure that you do it well and properly. We don't have a league system like Kabaddi or the others, although many people have said that you should have a league system. Other than cricket, where there's not so much of fighting in between. See, most of some of the other sports federations which went to a league system didn't do so well after the initial success. So the people who run the federation should also have a level mind. They should not look at money all the time. They should look at how much you can bring glory to India. That is how a federation should be. Work hard, bring glory to India. You look at other countries in the world. Nicole David was world champion for 15 years. 15, sir? 9 years, world champion, but Asian champion for 15 years. Government supported them, and government got this PPP mode where they got Milo to support Nicole David. Nicole David was sent to the European circuit to play there right through summer. That's how she improved her game and was, world champion for 9 years and Asian champion for more than 15 years. We need to change our attitude towards sport. Don't look at just being an Asian champion for 1 year. What do you do after being an Asian champion is what one should look at. How do you provide them with job opportunities after they have finished playing for their country? This is what we are already in discussion with HCL on that issue. So a player, after giving all his work, all his time and effort, what do you do to him? You just throw him out and get him to be on his own? No, that is not what the federation should do. And we are looking at all HCL. Basically, HCL says, what do you do after a champion, his term is over, or time is over? So this is what has attracted us to HCL also. It takes 2 to tango. And what we want is exactly what they want also. And at this time, what can I say? As patron of SRFI, I can only tell that it's been a wonderful relationship with HCL, and I wish my successors continue this relationship with HCL, and wish to thank HCL and all your colleagues for giving us this opportunity to partner with you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we have with us Mr. Rajat Chandolia. He is an Associate Vice President of Brand at HCL, and he would delve more into the details of what new features have been added to the Squash Podium Program. Rajat, over to you.
Thank you, Alicia. Good afternoon, people from the media. Mr. Ramachandran, thank you so much for coming in today. Thank you, Sundar. Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you, Harry. So yeah, as Sundar and Mr. Ramachandran has already explained what the podium program is all about and what this collaboration is all about, I would just straight away go into more details about the new additions that we have this year. And Cyrus, I would request, if I have missed out on anything, please add into that. The first and foremost, given the recent success in doubles for Indian squash in Asian Games and Commonwealth Games. Constant success. For the first time after I think 20 years, 2 decades, we are, along with SRFI, we are relaunching the National Doubles Championship, which has started today in the Indian Squash Academy. It will go on till the 15th. That is the first event that we are doing, which we are kicking off. Then there would be a slew of events, PSA events. We are doing 5 this year, all supported by HCL, of course in collaboration with different hosts in different cities. So we are taking this to multiple cities, new cities, like Indore, Calcutta and Goa. Along with that, there would be a lot of junior events, the slams, all the 4 slams that we're doing, There will be Indian Junior Open this year. So all of that is happening as we go along, and it will run till March of next year. Then we are also now starting to build up a program for the next generation of squash players in India, which is, we call this a Next Gen program. The first activity that we are doing is for the budding players. We have identified some budding players along with Cyrus's inputs who have the potential to become the next champions. This is a 6-month-long neurofeedback program to improve their cognitive skills, which we believe will help them in improving their performance off court, on court as well. It will improve their focus on, or rather they can focus on their strengths and weaknesses, their mental strength, which also typically is an area of improvement for Indian athletes. So that we are kicking off very soon. Along with that, the last program that we are conceptualizing and implementing right now is a grassroots program, which is again building the next generation after the next generation. So we are trying to see maybe starting at the age group of 6 to 12, trying to popularize the sport, building more programs so that more people are aware, more players can come in, so that they also then start feeding into the entire talent system. So these are the overall things that we are doing. Apart from this, we also work on a lot of engagement activities, for the fans, the enthusiasts, and the players, of course, through some marketing activities. We did for the first time the broadcast of the Squash World Cup last year. So we're building that through, so that the sport again becomes more popular, more visible. So I think that's about it. All these initiatives will run till 2025. The grassroots program, of course, will run as in beyond than that also. So that's where we are. So I think that's it from our side. I would request Cyrus to now talk about any further details.
Thank you, Rajat. Good evening, everybody. 2 decades ago, the SRFI set out with ambitious targets to win medals at the Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, and World Championships. Today, I'm proud to say that we have successfully achieved these objectives. Our triumphs in winning the World Doubles titles and last year's gold medal performances at the Asian Games have firmly etched India's presence on the global squash map. This journey commenced in the year 2000 with the establishment of the Indian Squash Academy. And we've reached our pivotal moment with HCL's collaboration with SRFI since 2016, a partnership that has significantly contributed to our success. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has supported us in our endeavors. In Tamil Nadu, the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu has been promoting sporting events, including squash. HCL's unwavering support for our Squash Podium Program has been monumental. It encompasses all organizing of national events and international events across the country. It's provided to our coaches. We've had sparring partners, coach development activities, and technological support. The Squash Podium Program has gone from strength to strength every year, and we are adding a few more for the betterment of our athletes. Thank you, HCL. This collaboration, as we've been discussing, has helped our current national champion, for example, Velavan, who was 186 in the world, today is now 63. Abhay Singh has leaped from 144 to 73. These highlights the effectiveness of our program. Additionally, these prestigious accolades bestowed upon Joshna Chinnappa with the Padma Shri and Harinder Pal Singh Sandhu with the Arjuna Award validate our commitments to excellence. We are all very excited with the next generation program, the brain training program, grassroots development program. These initiatives will nurture the next generation of squash players and expand our sports reach. Finally, we are proud to announce the start of the National Annual Doubles Championships. This is fitting as we have won titles in the Commonwealth Games, World Doubles Championships, and Asian Doubles recently. In conclusion, with the upcoming LA Games on the horizon, squash's future appears promising. With our dedicated athletes, supportive partner HCL, and relentless pursuit of excellence, we are sure we will achieve greater heights. Thank you.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you, Cyrus. So as Rajat and Cyrus mentioned, that new or revamped Squash Podium Program, HCL Squash Podium Program, it has everything for everyone. So the new generation players will be trained. The grassroots level players will be explored from schools. There are events for professional and elite level players. And we also have programs and training modules for our coaches and referees. So we have everything for everyone in the squash ecosystem, and hence we are dedicated with this new program, revamped program, to transform the Indian squash. Now moving forward, we have with us Mr. Harinder Singh Sandhu, former national champion, Arjun awardee, and Asian Games gold medalist. Mr. Harinder, would you like to say a few words to our guests?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me, and it's a great honor for me to share the dais with all the senior personalities. So thank you for having me. HCL has been supporting squash for the last 8 years now, and it has promoted squash from the grassroots level and through their continuous PSA events in the country. And from a player's perspective, I can say that I, as a player, has benefited massively through the HCL Squash Podium Program and their continuous PSA events that happen almost every month in the country. And it was my personal journey 21 years ago when I moved here. It was only Mr. Ramachandran sir who supported me and all the other players at the personal level. You know, it was through his personal interest that we built the entire squash playing culture in the country. So thank you so much, sir, for your continuous efforts for more than 2 decades now. And it's also wonderful to see squash players now being supported by a very big corporate giant like HCL. So thank you very much to you, sir, for your continuous support. And squash, for the very first time, was included in the Khelo India Youth Games, and it was a good initiative of the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu. I do hope it is a regular feature from now on, and it gives all the youngsters a very bright future to look up to. And as you all are aware, national doubles have started from today. I request you all to please come and watch the matches, as we have all the youngsters competing with the seniors. So you can see the mix of both experience and the youngsters. And yeah, just come and watch, and I request you all to please come and you can watch me also play from tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Have time to please go and watch the matches. Harry will be playing in the doubles category, right? So yeah, so now moving on with the Q&A session, the most important session of this press conference. So if you have any questions for our guests, if you have any, if you need any clarity or if you have any doubts about the program, our spokespersons would like to clarify it for you. My team will help you with the mics. You can just raise your hand.
Yes, so we've presently gone to a few schools, and corporation schools is what we are looking at to start out with. So we have visited schools to identify the areas where we can conduct the program. So that process has already started. We've started it in Chennai. We've also done it in the NCR region also. We are already looking around.
How many schools you are going to have time?
So we are open to as many schools as possible. So we have started going one by one. We visited 12 schools in both locations, and we hope to expand.
Is it open for both girls and boys?
Absolutely, yes.